Hello everyone, this is Flora and this is my Unix lab experiment number 9. This experiment is to perform interprocess communication using pipes. So basically what is pipes? Pipe is a technique for passing information from one program process to another. It can be a one-way communication or a duplex communication. So basically there are two types of pipes. One is named pipes and one is unnamed pipe. Unnamed pipe is where all the data are in the kernel and it cannot be accessed by any other program than the program that creates it. So it's basically only unidirectional. Data from one is given to the other and that's all the pipe's work is done. But a named pipe, it is a file system pipe. It will use the file to write in it, to read from it. So basically it's a bidirectional pipe. One process can write in it, the other process can access it. So different processes of different program can access and use it. So in this experiment I have to perform named and unnamed pipe. So in first I have performed name pipes. So I have a writer pipe which will write some data in a file called my file, and then whatever the user enters, the data is passed to my file. We have to assign write permission to my file so that we'll be able to write it to the file. And this is the command that we use, the write command, which will have the file descriptor, then the content that we intend to write, and then the length of the content. And we have to unlink the file once the file system work is done of writing it in the file. So when we execute this command, so next is the reader file. The reader file is another process, another program. So what it will do is it will access the my file, which is where we have written the data to the file, and it will open it in the read only mode. Then we'll use the read command to pass all the data in the file to a array called buffer. So buffer has all the data. Buf is the buffer which has all the data that is there in the file, and using that buffer we'll be able to retrieve each character details in the buffer and we'll be able to compare it. So basically we have to compare whether any of the vowels are present. If there is vowels present, then we have to print the number of vowels present in the program. So when we execute this command, the writer command, it will ask us to write the details, whatever details we want to write in the file. Suppose if I say I want to write hello, it's Unix here. So these details will be written to the file. So now if we open the file called my file, we'll be able to view these details in the file. Hello Unix here. Next we have is to read the content from the file. So when we implement reader to it, it will read those details and it will calculate the number of vowels. So the vowels over here are E, one E, then a O, then U, then I, and then more E's to follow with it. So there are total 7 E's present in the file. The next one is to perform the unnamed file. So when we have the unnamed file, it will actually be used only within the program to pass the details within the program. So we'll be collecting the details using the write file from the user. We'll be asking the user to enter the input. Then the pipe fd is the file descriptor for that particular pipe, and then it will ask all the details that are retrieved from the user is sent to the kernel mode. That is, the unnamed pipe stores its data in the kernel, and then one extra will be added to the null pointer to indicate the end of the file, and then we'll be using the read command, and all the details are stored in the message buffer. All the details that we wrote will be retrieved and stored back to the message buffer. The same FD is used so that only one single pipe is used to communicate, and we'll be printing those details. What we'll be doing in this experiment is we'll be retrieving the vowels from the details, and we'll be converting each vowel to the uppercase of it. So I've used the to upper function, inbuilt C function, to convert it to the upper case. So when we execute this write the unnamed pipe, it will ask us to enter the message that we want to write. Suppose if I say Unix architecture, and then it will read those details, store it in a file. It will write all these details to the file pipe, and then it will read the same details from the pipe. And what I've done here is I've converted all the vowels. So we have the vowels such as U, I, A and E. So all of those is converted to uppercase. So this is my experiment involving pipes, named and unnamed pipes. Thank you.